Yeah, let me just start my tape here. Okay, Donna Susek,
Here.
Walter Crucell,
Here.
Gina Sakala, Cindy Mangini, Marie Peisner,
I see her.
Marie, stay here.
Okay, I'm getting frozen. Is it just me? But my screen keeps
Yes,
freezing.
you're frozen right now. I got you marked here, Marie. Scott Ryder, Tim Neville,
Here.
Doug McSellen, Tina LeBlanc, Wendy Costa,
Here.
Charlotte Riley,
Here.
Bethany Millette,
Here.
Melissa Everett, Jeff Leonowitz,
Here.
Chris Cycli, I think I just saw him pop on. Chris, are you there?
Here, yes.
Okay. And Jaime Cisneros. I don't see him on.
Okay, Tina, I was, for some reason I froze when you were doing it, so.
Yes, I marked you here. You're good.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so since we only have 7 members, can I take a motion to take the meeting out of order and just go down to what I had down there for new business, which is the discussion of the bids?
I approve, second.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Aye.
So Chris, I'm gonna turn it over to you, but I guess I'm having angst because you're saying that there's another bid coming in, so I'll let you explain everything.
Donna, would you like us to go to executive session first?
I don't have it on the agenda, unfortunately.
Okay.
So if we could discuss without, because I think what's gonna have to happen is we're gonna have to have another meeting on Thursday when you have everything, and I will put executive session on if we think we would get other bids in, but once all the bids are in, I have to do that in open session. Because it's public money.
Absolutely.
Right.
So wanna explain where we are, and then in not great details, we might be able to convey information to the committee.
So we received 2 bids, one from Matter Construction, same contract that did the work. Phase 2, his bid from New England Masonry and Roofing, and they were $460,000. So,
Chris, you keep breaking up, so I missed a lot of that.
how about now? Is this better? Any better now? So, Matter
Chris, we're losing you pretty bad.
Yeah.
Can you-
So Chris, I guess for summary for the committee, we have 2 bids come in and both are over budget.
was
Or over what's been, over the
low
set
at
aside money.
360.
I have commitment from the mayor and he's talked with the town manager. We will proceed with this. The town council will find additional funds. This is something that needs to be done. The roof needs to be finished. So I guess that being said, we can't approve anything because we're waiting for the 3rd bid, correct?
Correct. We do have one more bidder,
Okay,
whose proposal's coming in tomorrow morning,
so, and I feel like,
also on state contract.
okay, so all 3 bidders are on state contract, and then we will be able to choose the lowest competent bidder. So I guess at this point, I'd open it up to the committee if they have any questions about how we need to proceed with not voting tonight, but probably having our regular Thursday meeting meeting and taking care of it then?
Tim, I have a question.
Go ahead, Tim.
Will the way we're doing the bid process and the timeline for that, will it allow us to meet our deadline that we have to meet to get this thing done in time for school?
Possibly. If this third bid comes in more favorable than Mattern, then yes. I don't recommend. Well, I don't know. I think it needs to be cooked a little bit more. I think it might behoove us if this third bid does not come in favorable, then maybe we push this out. We put it out to a public bid, and we stipulate in there that we do it on Saturday work, and take our chances that way. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly how to go with this
Well,
right
I
now.
guess my question is do you and Tom feel that this bid has come in exceedingly high, that you think we would do better out on a public bid?
I think it's extremely high. I'm just not sure right now if we would do any better on a public bid.
Okay.
I do
was-
think
I
it
was-
is extremely high.
Well, since what was it? It was a little over 4 or just under 5 to do the 2 wings. And now we're, I warned them if you went back out with a phase 3, that this could be problematic. And I mean, this is what we all have to learn about the fact that, we abided by the charter, and we will waste money and we will waste time. And it's just, so if anybody else have any comments or concerns? I feel like, I've called everybody to a meeting and we're probably not going to get anything accomplished.
I apologize for that. I was the one that was behind pushing for a meeting tonight, thinking that the numbers were gonna come in more favorable and we would have some sort of an approval to proceed tonight.
Well, I told them
Unfortunately,
it
I
could be
just
20% higher than they anticipated, remember? And it, and it seems that it's doing exactly, what, and I'll be honest with you, everybody's really busy out in the construction world. So I don't know. And I guess for us, we need to look at everything so that we understand, is it the masonry that's driving the increase, or is it the roof itself? So that when we will get the additional funds. I guess that's the commitment that's been made to me, that, and I'm conveying it to you, that those additional funds will be made available and we will do the last section of this roof.
Just a statement, Donna.
Yeah, go ahead, Marie.
I've always been one that wants, I believe you get what you pay for. So I like the idea of going out and getting more bids, but I want the bid to be from the best person for the best quality work.
Correct.
And if you're going to nickel and dime, then is it really worth it at the end of the day? So I have confidence that Chris knows what he's talking about. I have confidence that, you guys have all been on this committee a lot longer than I have. But if he feels that we might be better off doing a public bid, then I'm okay with that. I'll obviously do what the majority rules, but I don't want us to jump into something. I mean, we are in uncertain times, and you just said it. Construction prices, I have a brand new deck on my pool. All my lattice was rotting, and Jake could not find lattice. Like, seriously, went to Lowe's, went to Home Depot, not just here, everywhere. So we had to get creative in how to replace the lattice, because there's no building supplies out there.
Right.
So, we're in really crazy times right now. And, but I don't also want to have somebody come in because they're the best bid and they don't do the job on time or to the quality that we're expecting. So that is my only concern, and it's a state.
Okay. Thanks, Marie. Wendy, do you have anything? We'll go around. It's only a few of us.
I guess my other point would be if there's any chance that we can get this done before the kids start school. We just have so much turmoil in the schools this year as it is, with everything going on, that to the extent, if there's any chance that just going with the state contractor, we can get it done before the kids are in school or mostly done, that's what I would side with, because I just think we have enough going on with the way we have to get the kids back to school.
Thank you, Wendy. Bethany?
I would agree with Murray as far as, I'd be concerned as far as material supplies, keeping us behind schedule. Because I know that's an issue in a lot of areas with construction right now. And, you know, the only good, our school schedule is they could add a Wednesday in there.
Right. Charlotte?
I'm good.
Walter?
So the bid is for doing the roof and the masonry? It's one company doing both?
Correct.
Okay.
That's
And
why
Matt
I
had-
asked if everything was held out separate.
And it's Matrin. Matrin is the one that did the phase 2, but he used the contractor that we did the phase 1.
Eagle Roof.
Eagle, yeah. So we're
Yeah,
assuming,
Eagle.
so he's
Yep.
probably gonna do the same thing.
Yeah.
Or we don't know.
We don't, well, I'm not, we haven't investigated the bids to that point.
Yeah.
Jeff, do you know that?
Yes, I was looking
Yes,
at
that would
the,
be the relationship.
yeah, that would be the same arrangement for phase 3 with Matter. So
Okay.
same as phase 2.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I had another call come in.
That's okay.
So doing that, we would have one company do the whole roof is what I'm saying.
Correct. Yes,
Which that could be a plus too, instead of getting somebody new in there and not mating up with what's there existing.
correct. Tim?
I'm just as concerned as the others are about getting it here on time. We were on a tight schedule no matter what. And I just don't know how we're gonna get it done on time. Marie's thing about the supplies is realistic. I've been waiting for 2 months for something. And I don't even know where they make it anywhere. I can't get it anywhere in the Northeast. So that's a real issue. So.
I don't know that this is, I
Right.
don't know that this is a supply issue. I have not heard that. I do know that if we don't get a PO this week or early next, the chances of getting this done by the 8th are not gonna happen.
You're right.
I guess I am not in favor of going out for competitive bid. I think if that's 6 weeks out, I think we need to do it this summer. I talked to Mike last night. He didn't seem overly concerned with us getting the extra money that we would need for right now. If the third bid comes in a little bit lower, then, we'd be even better off. But at this point, I'd like to see the third bid and make the decision. And we make the decision on Thursday night.
Okay.
That's my,
Okay, Donna, we didn't let Scott and then Tina just joined us, so I don't know
oh,
if Scott
okay,
had any
no,
comment.
Scott,
No,
I
same,
didn't
same
see
as,
you.
no, same as what Walter and Tim said. It's got, and everybody that said it's got to be done before school starts, and I don't know if that can happen at this point.
Right. Tina?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I had a work call.
I know, we're like,
The
I
jobs we get paid to
think
do.
Wendy said it pretty well for the Board of Ed,
What was that?
that there's enough turmoil in the school. We don't need to be doing roofs. We need to do it now.
Donna, I'm almost tempted to just go with Matt had it and just vote on it tonight and get it over with. Forget the third bid. So at least we have the consistency of one company doing the whole roof. I don't know. That's my
I
feeling.
don't know who the other, do you know who the subcontractors are for the last one that you're waiting for, Chris?
I don't know who their subcontractors are yet, no.
Tom might know. Tom, do you know that if he tells you who?
I've,
he's waiting
yeah, I've
for?
worked with JHS a number of times, actually. And I think, I don't know who their subcontractors are, but they are a roofing company that does primarily flat roofing. So they would be doing the bulk of the roof replacement project themselves, is my understanding. So I think there could be substantial, I think there's a potential for some savings, for significant savings there.
Did
I think
did
they
I
would top
rescind
out,
my,
pardon me?
I rescind my idea then.
Yeah, I would like to wait for the third one, and you know, I hate to ask everybody to, you know, dial in again on a second night on the week, but I think it's necessary. And I think in the meantime, we may have to have a special meeting of the council, but I would say that you could get your PO.
So again, I will have that second price,
third one?
hopefully, the third one, right, hopefully tomorrow morning.
Okay,
I'm hoping before noon.
okay.
I'll let everybody know where we are and then we can go from there.
Hey, Donna, it's
Yeah.
Charlotte. So
Nice.
I definitely think we need to wait for the third bid for sure. And I mean, if we have to, I mean, if we think that outside bids will be lower, it might be worth it because, like Bethany said, nobody's gonna be at school on Wednesdays. You'll have Saturdays. It's gonna be mild this fall, and we don't even know if school is gonna start when it's supposed to start, because I just heard that the teachers union was trying to push back the start date of school, so we might have extra time. That's another variable.
Well, it costs money to go out to bid. And
How much
time.
money does it cost to go out to bid?
Jeff,
No.
do you-
She
Well,
said, we'll wait for the third bid.
So if we had to go out to public bid, we have all the documentation ready to go. The only thing we'd have to go get is prevailing wages through the state,
Yeah.
which can take up to 10 days, and we have to have them publicly posted for 10 days. So your worst exposure is 20 days.
20 days.
Usually the state's been very good with quick turnarounds on the stuff, but they have the ability to take 10 days to give us a wage rate. So then you have to, you know, be out there for 10 business days too. So that's, you know, you're looking at 20 days max.
Okay.
And I guess it really comes back to, you know, kind of like I'd be interested to see what happens with the third bid, like Chris was saying, and
Yeah.
kind of, you know, go from there. Because if we're going to miss our deadline for whatever reason,
you're not gonna get your bids until the third week of September.
yeah, so at that
Alright.
point, I'd be aiming for Columbus Day weekend, having a bulk of the project being done there on that 3-day shutdown, because it's about a, you know, 3-4 day project. I think the big concern is we can't rip the roof off with kids in it. We
Right.
could do sheet metal, we could probably do the chimney work with people in there, but it's when the roof is getting ripped off the deck, that's when you got to have it empty. So there
Right.
might be some wiggle room. So it's, you know, and I've been on the phone with Chris and Tom and, you know, all morning. So we've been going around, you know, different ways to move forward. So I think it would be best off to wait for the JHS to get back to us. And then at least we know where we are and we can make a very good decision. But you know, it's going to be a very tight time frame for the 8th. I won't lie. That's going to be, but I think we can get at least the ripping. My concern is the ripping, and Chris could probably chime in better than myself, but I think where the snag is the ripping off the roof. We can do other things with kids in the school because we're outside, like the sheet metal, the trimming, probably the masonry. But I think it's just getting that heavy rip and replace done. That's the tough part.
Thank you, Jeff. That's a good explanation.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so I guess as we move forward, I should schedule a meeting for this Thursday.
Can I just ask one more question, Donna, just
Sure.
as it relates to school? So I don't know whether it's gonna make a difference that the kids will be outside a lot more than they are currently in terms of mask breaks, having classes outside, having lunch possibly outside, or whatever, if that's gonna make a difference to
what the contractors can and can't be doing on the roof while kids are in school. Just bringing it up as a question or a comment.
I mean,
The-
Chris
the
can probably
only-
speak to this too, and just from when we did the roof last year, we had the flag line where we had the construction area. When you have the, like the sheet metal, that's not a heavy or high flying thing, so the courtyard itself would probably be impacted, but where the basketball hoops are and everything else, we can work within those boundaries. We just have to probably move the, they couldn't exit into that courtyard area where we'd be working. That would be kind of off limits there.
Will the kids be in school on Friday?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Wednesday will be their day off.
It's not a day off.
Well,
learn
not
from
day
home.
off. I'm sorry, Scott. I'm
Oh, no, no,
sorry,
it's
you're
okay.
right. I'm sorry. It's not a
I don't
day
want-
off, it's their
Building day.
virtual day.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
want
know. I'm
parents to
sorry.
think that. I don't want parents to think that. That's all.
No, I'm sorry. My mistake. I
Good point,
understand. I
Scott.
apologize. Thank you for being my bad on that. I apologize.
And Jamie, I just see, you just came on. Basically, we've gotten 2 bids in, and we're waiting for the 3rd bid to come in. The first 2 are over what the anticipated allotment that has been put aside is. I have confidence that the money will be made available to us to finish the roof. It's just a matter of how do we get our best price. When this 3rd one comes in, if it's much better, that'll be the one we'll go with. But the question is on the table as to, do we want to go out to bid, which would bring us to not starting till 3rd week of September.
Yeah, I think we still stick with the plan right now to have a meeting on Thursday and then decide that Thursday. However, Donna, I will ask if it's better than Mattern's proposal of 360, but it still exceeds the 301 and you need to get additional funding from council. How soon would we be able to issue a purchase order? Do we have to wait until the next council meeting to be able
No,
to allocate the additional funds?
no, that to my understanding is you will not have to wait till the next council meeting. But as soon as I found out how much money I actually have to make sure is allocated, and then I would talk to the town manager and we'll see how we go about doing that. Because he can allocate, and we just gonna vote on it at the next town council meeting that the transfers were made.
So I think from past
Okay.
purchasing things, what we could probably do is I wouldn't probably be able to award the whole project at once. I think we could probably get something for materials, so we could get material moving. And I kind of was talking with John Wilcox yesterday afternoon for a little bit, and I'm kind of waiting to see, how things progress. And I'll talk to him more tomorrow, and then certainly Thursday, Friday when we know where we're going. But if he feels that, with the information that we can give a portion, or, because usually they like to see the whole amount, but I'm thinking we could probably be okay. I mean, I can't speak for, the director of finance, but, I'll definitely do what we can to see if we can have something called out. So if we can have materials called out for a price, very specifically, I think they'd be comfortable having funds in a budget and they can buy material, and then we can always, get the additional funding for the labor, or whether it be for the masonry and the chimney. So having,
Well, that's what I'm thinking, is if we pull the masonry and the chimney out, then we should have enough money.
yes,
And then we'll appropriate that money,
like an add-all.
right? That's why I asked if the bids were by specific task.
No, but I can work with Tom and we can.
Right. We,
Be careful.
but Chris, we can't hear you.
So we need a motion to continue this to Thursday, or just,
I guess we just need a motion to adjourn. Well, I guess we will table this, so now it's no longer will be a new business, it will be an old business. And I'll bring it to the top of the agenda, and I will get that agenda done tonight, so it can get to Terry and Jeff and Deb McCarthy. And we'll be all set for Thursday.
Okay, question, are we still doing, I kind of rearranged my life so that I would be here tonight instead of Thursday. So we're thinking,
I apologize, Marie.
no, it's fine. I mean, I just had something going on tonight and I canceled it and said, oh, I don't have a Thursday meeting because I think I might have another Thursday meeting. So what time are we looking at? And do we think it's going to be a couple of hours, or are we looking at half hour or?
For me, I'm looking at 5 o'clock. I'm looking that when I do the agenda, I'm gonna put the discussion for accepting of the bid for the phase 3 as number 1 in old business. And we will take care of that right away.
Okay, so if I have to leave to do something else, it's okay. All right. Just, I want to be upfront. That's all.
That's okay, Marie. We know we all deserve a
Yeah,
life.
we all juggle a lot of balls in the air, so.
Donna, do you have to add executive session too?
Tim, I'm gonna have to ask the attorney for that, but my understanding is even contract negotiation should not be done in executive session. Tim?
Okay.
No, mine was the same question. Thank you.
Okay,
All right, so motion to table this?
Move.
all in favor? How about a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Donna,
Yep,
we accept the minutes from July 23rd before we adjourn tonight? Or do you want to do that on Thursday?
we'll do that on Thursday.
All right.
Do we have to do the invoice, Donna?
I don't have a copy of it because I just.
I don't either.
All right, can we do that on Thursday, Chris?
Okay, so we'll leave that on Thursday.
Okay,
All right, motion to adjourn.
all in favor, second? Wendy,
Second.
second, all in favor? And thank you, everyone, for coming. I think that we have good direction.
Thank you, Don. Good night now.
Good night.
Thank you, Don.
Everyone.
Thank you.